Hi everyone, welcome to This Is How I Take Notes. That is the title of this film, is This Is How I Take Notes. So I'm all set up here. I've got my Moleskine journal and I have my pen. Who am I kidding? I actually carry around a lot of different pens of different thickness and colours for my note taking, and I also carry around a couple of highlighters and a ruler when I'm taking notes. So let's jump straight into it though. So let's open to this page here. So what you'll notice first and foremost is that there is a definite theme going on here. And that is that I'm using Cornell note-taking on the right-hand side. Okay, so definitely having some Cornell note-taking. You'll see that these ones, the summary isn't filled in. That's because I haven't gone back yet and summarized it. But for the most part, you will see Cornell note-taking, or if it's a page like this, it's normally about reflection. So let's have a look and see what's going on here. So what we have here is your basic Cornell note-taking on this side. I don't do it on this side only because I don't like writing where I've written before. So I've got the title, I've got who said it, I've got how long it was. Normally I'd put the date there as well. This down here is all my notes straight from as I'm listening, and I'm actively listening and actively trying to understand what the speaker is saying. Over here's my key words and key ideas, and then down here is my summary. Same thing. Okay, so this is fairly consistent Cornell note taking because I am watching, at this point I'm watching a video or a lecture. Over here is where I started to look at sketchnoting, and sketchnoting has allowed me to put that information into either pictures or graphic organizers, and that's allowed me to comprehend and to understand what's going on here in a new way. And that way I'm allowing myself time to digest what's going on here. And because it's pictures, I don't feel, I don't feel precious about drawing and coloring over where I've seen before. I think that's it's a really nice sort of layout. It feels really good for me because this part here happens pretty well straight away. I'm doing this keywords and I'm doing this part, as I watch the video. This part here happens maybe that night or that afternoon or the next day when I'm having a coffee, and I can just read through that and sort of put my 1 to 3 points here. But then I also go over here and I start to make some questions, make some notes, put things into a graphic organizer. There's videos on graphic organizers if you want to have a look at that. And I start to cut things out. If there was a really cool slideshow and I really liked parts of it, I would print that out and stick that into it. You'll notice I'm using an A5 book. I like A5 books. Normally I have a hardcover, but recently I've been getting into the real soft covers because you can sort of throw them anywhere and they take a lot of beating. The idea of a notebook, I don't know if I've said this before, but I'm going to say it now. The idea of a notebook is to travel with you and to be a record of your thoughts and your learning. It shouldn't look, it should look like everyone says this is neat. This isn't really neat. There's still things crossed out. There's different colored pens all over the place. It's organized, but it's not neat. And I think that's what a good notebook really should be about, being organized, but not necessarily neat. It should be a record of your thinking. It should be a record of your questioning. It should allow you to have spaces. You'll notice that I don't always do this. So if we keep going, I don't always Cornell note take because there are times when I'm going to need to. And I'll show you some of the stuff that I've been doing lately, which is starting to get, things like this, where, I just needed a thinking page. And so I'll dedicate that whole page to thinking. But Neil Gaiman said that he doesn't move on to a new page until that page is filled up. And so I'm trying to keep to that, mostly because I love Neil Gaiman and whatever Neil Gaiman says, I don't think you can go wrong with. But it does help your thinking when you're trying to fill that page, because it allows you to understand and to look at the situation in different ways. So there we go. That's how I take notes. That might help you. I know a lot of people, a lot of you guys don't like writing on this side. So this might be a good way of you to take notes. This side here is like good for videos, lectures, the teacher talking. It's good for if you're reading something, news articles, whatever. Just make sure you put the title up there and where you accessed it from, because then you can find it later. And there we go. That is taking notes and how I take notes.